Well, today I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Excel's data validation feature. And to give you a reason why you want to use this, as an example, I was working on an Excel template today at work, and we decided that we really needed to kind of user-proof it to the best of our ability. We weren't sure that the user that we were designing it for would understand what went into each cell, and we wanted to be able to control the values that were in those cells. And that's exactly a great application for data validation. So as an example here, let's assume that we're working with a loan payment calculator. We have the purchase price, the down payment, the interest rate, and the loan length. And all of these are shaded in yellow. The cells that are shaded in yellow are the cells that we want the user to be able to change. Now, ideally, we would lock down the rest of this worksheet with worksheet protection. I'll show you that in an additional video here. But what I want to do is I want to show you how to control the values that can go into a cell. In this case, we'll work with the interest rate cell. So I'm going to give the user a message that tells them what can go in this cell. I'm going to check to make sure they've entered the right value, and if the individual doesn't put in the right value, it's going to show an error message. All of that is possible with data validation. So I'm going to go to the Data tab, and on the Data tab, on the ribbon there, I'm going to go ahead and choose Data Validation, and then of course Data Validation. Well, the first thing I'm going to do here, and again I started in the cell, in this case B7, that's the cell that I want to add data validation to. I'm going to set what I want to allow. Well, I don't want to allow any value. I want to restrict the range of the interest rate. So I'm going to choose decimal here, and I'm going to say between, and we're going to assume in this case that we're only going to allow interest rates between 4% and 8%. So the minimum is 0.04, the maximum is 0.08, 4% and 8%. Now I want to let the user know that these are the only values that we can enter into that cell, so I do that with the input message. Now in the input message, I have a title. Well, even though it says interest rate over there on A7, maybe they're not paying attention, so I'll type interest rate here. Yeah. Need to go to typing school. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and say enter a value, an interest rate between 4% and 8%. That's pretty clear. Should be very, very clear, but just in case they don't, I'm going to have an error message pop up. So I'll click on error alert, and I have different choices here. I have stop, warning, or information. I'm just going to say stop. The title is going to be interest rate error. And I could be a little bit facetious in this case and just say pay attention. I've told you good enough what needs to go there. Okay. Of course, in real life, you're not going to be that mean. So I'll go ahead and click OK. Now, as soon as I'm in that cell, notice I get a little box that pops up here. It says interest rate, enter an interest rate between 4% and 8%. So if I enter 0.05, it takes it just fine, and it calculates the monthly payment for me. But let's say I'm typing an error, and I put in 12% or 10%. Well, now I get the error, the interest rate error. Pay attention. So I'm going to retry, and again, that box, the comment box, the input message shows again, tell me what I did wrong, or at least what I can do. I'll put it on 7.5%, and now everything works just fine. So again, you could do that for each one of these cells if you needed to. If you wanted to, for instance, restrict the loan length between 15 and 30 years, you could put a data validation rule there as well. In this case, though, that's all I need to show you. Very, very easy to do. And like I said, you can pay attention to an additional video. I'll show you how to lock down this worksheet so that they cannot literally change your formulas or erase the formulas. And as usual, you can find step-by-step instructions on my website, luthermaddy.com. Thank you. If you like this video, please like it. Consider subscribing as well. We'll see you in the next video.